All right, welcome to the virtual college exploration for all West Virginia students, sponsored by the West Virginia Association of the Collegiate Registrar and Admissions Officers and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your answers to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see nor hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at WVACRAO.org. Again, that is westvirginiaacro.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website. Now I'd like to turn it over to your presenters.
Good afternoon. My name is Brianna Smith. I'm with New River Community and Technical College. I am Air Admissions Counselor at New River, and I'm just going to take the next little bit here to talk to you about New River and about what we have to offer. I understand we have to shut the entire presentation down in 45 minutes, so I'll try to be brief to allow time for questions, but we'll go ahead and get started. So yes, we are New River Community and Technical College, and really quickly, I just want to first introduce basically our college. So within the community college system of West Virginia, it's sort of laid out to where each region of the state has its own kind of community college. And so New River serves the southern to southeastern sort of region of the state. So we serve the following counties. Basically, it's Fayette, Greenbrier, Mercer, Monroe, Nicholas, Pocahontas, Raleigh, Summers, and Webster counties. And so within that service region, we offer 4 campuses and Air Advanced Technology Center, which I'll tell you a little bit more about in a minute. So we have, like I said, 4 main campuses. Our main campus is in Beaver, West Virginia, which is right outside Beckley. We also have the Mercer County campus in Princeton, West Virginia. We have our Greenbrier Valley campus in Lewisburg. And we also have our Nicholas County campus up in Summersville, West Virginia. In addition to those 4 campuses, we also, like I had said, offer our Advanced Technology Center in Gent, West Virginia. And if you don't know where Gent is, it is between Beckley and Princeton on I-77. Pretty much halfway in between near Winter Place, and it's like right off the toll booth there on I-77. Here we house pretty much all of our technical programs. So you can get our automotive programs, our diesel, our industrial technology, our welding, line service, which we're pretty widely known for. It's actually the formal name for it is electric distribution engineering technology, but a lot of people refer to it as line service. You can also get CDL training at our Advanced Technology Center. So 5 locations throughout our service region, and all of them can provide you with an excellent education. So why would you choose New River Community and Technical College? Well, like I had mentioned before, we are a community college. So that means that we are a little bit smaller of a school. There are quite a few advantages of staying close to home instead of going far away to get your education. For one thing, we have a 14-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio. We are allowed to offer you, or we're able to offer you, a much more intimate educational setting where you're free to ask questions and participate in classroom discussions with your instructor. 14 students to 1 instructor, so that kind of eliminates the humongous classroom halls where you're kind of intimidated to ask a question in front of a sea of other students. You really get that one-on-one interaction with your instructor, which is invaluable to your educational experience. There's a lot of advantages to staying closer to home. The main one that you'll probably come to realize is that when you choose a community college, most of the time they're historically, traditionally less expensive than your four-year schools. Community colleges just frankly are smaller. They don't have the dorms and the sports teams and things like that. So we can sort of pass those savings along to our students in the form of lower tuition, lower costing tuition. So it's a huge factor to consider. Higher education is not cheap. Getting your degree is not cheap. It's a big undertaking. It's a huge financial decision and undertaking. So where you can save money, you definitely need to explore that. At New River, we offer 60 plus academic programs. You can kind of go one of two ways at New River. A lot of students will choose one of our certificate or degree programs. The advantage of that is you can get an associate's degree in 2 years, graduate when you're 18 from high school, finish with your associate's degree at 20, and then get out in the workforce and be making money. We have excellent certificate and degree programs in areas such as healthcare, technical studies, business and computers, social services, just a wide variety of options for you to consider. Here's sort of just an example of what we offer. These are actually alphabetized, but like I was saying, we sort of have the 4 kind of program areas. So you'll see the automotive service technology. That's in our technical side of the house. I had mentioned before our electric distribution engineering technology that is very popular. That is our what we call line service program. That's the program that teaches you to become a lineman with the power company. Excellent career field there. Those jobs pay excellent. They pay really well. It's a very rewarding career. You'll see we have business programs. We have a cybersecurity program, actually a certificate and an associate's degree that is fairly new and very popular. Computer science programs. We also have social services programs. For example, you'll see the social services at the bottom there. We actually have an interesting, it's what we call a 2+2 agreement with Concord's social work program. So you can actually get your associate's degree in social services with us and then transfer onto their social work program to do your latter 2 years and then come out with a bachelor's degree. Similarly, we offer a criminal justice program that's a 2+2 program with West Virginia State University. Within our criminal justice program, you can choose to concentrate in 3 different areas. You can do corrections, where you learn to become a correctional officer. You can also do law enforcement and go into a career in law enforcement or even with the state police, Also, we offer a concentration in forensics, which is very interesting and very popular. And so you would be able to get your associates with us and then transfer that on to West Virginia State University to finish out your 4-year degree. So lastly, you'll see on here we have healthcare programs as well. We have a practical nursing program. We also have a very popular medical laboratory technician program. And if I'm not mistaken, I think at least within our 9-county service area, we might be the only one that offers that. That's at our Raleigh County campus. That one's pretty cool. You may not actually have considered that as a career option because when you go to the doctor, the medical lab techs, you don't see them. They're in the lab testing specimens and doing diagnostic testing. So that's a career option that you might want to explore if you've got a bend toward chemistry and science. and know you want to work in the healthcare field. So that's something to consider as well. But as you can see, lots and lots of great options. Another option that you can explore at New River is to get your general studies with us. You can start at New River, take your first 2 years of general studies classes, and then transfer those onto a 4-year school. In West Virginia, we have what we call our core coursework agreement. And basically, that's a state law that says that whatever core course you take at one state college, which we're a state college, is guaranteed to transfer to another state college and vice versa. So basically, if you know you've got to take English 101, you know you've got to take Math 101, you'll get the same credit regardless. So you may as well take it at a local community college and save that much money because they will be transferable to another state school. So that's definitely a huge advantage of choosing a community college such as New River. That kind of brings me on to the topic of financial aid. Like I said before, college is expensive. You know, it's just a known fact. And 85% of full-time beginning undergraduate students at New River receive some type of grant aid. And as I'm sure you all are learning and figuring out right now, there's a big difference between grants and student loans, right? Those loans, you've got to, they come due and you've got to pay them back, and they are not cheap usually because of a thing called interest, unfortunately. So if you can get a grant, that is your best option. That's what we want you to get first and foremost if you can. So a lot of grants, you know, are income based. So your Pell Grant, your West Virginia Higher Education Grant, you know, those all depend on your income. We do have a lot of students that qualify for those, but we also have a lot that don't qualify for those based on their income, their family's income, and a number of factors. So that brings me kind of to my next slide. You may have heard of the West Virginia Invest Grant, which is the free community college bill. People pretty much kind of call it the free community college bill. It's sort of what it's known as, but the traditional formal name is the West Virginia Invest Grant. So this grant is sort of designed for those students who maybe make a little bit too much money to qualify for the Pell Grant and the Higher Education Grant, but still need assistance to go to college. This is now available to you, but you know, it's mainly for your community colleges because it only covers your certificates and associate degrees. You can't use it toward like a bachelor's degree. So that might be one thing you want to consider when you're kind of deciding 2-year school or 4-year school. You can use this West Virginia Invest Grant to get an associate's degree. Now, it doesn't cover every program at New River. It covers most of them. It doesn't cover general studies, but if you know that, say you want to do, say, our business program or airline service program or our computer science or criminal justice, you know, those programs would be covered. So there are very simple requirements. It's not, you know, it's not incredibly difficult to obtain, and they're listed right here. And actually, for more information on it, you can go to the website above, newriver.edu/WV-invest. You have to be a legal resident of West Virginia and have lived here for 1 year before applying. You have to be a graduate of a public, private, or homeschool program and have either, you know, gotten your degree or passed your high school equivalency test. You have to not have already earned a college degree, associate level or higher, or attempted 90 or more college credit hours. You do have to do your FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. You have to do that. You also have to do the West Virginia Invest Grant application separately. So just doing your FAFSA won't cut it. You actually have to do the FAFSA first, then your Invest Grant application, which you can find at the link above. You have to, the big one with this, 2 big ones really, you do have to make a commitment to live in West Virginia for 2 years after you graduate with your degree. Otherwise, you will get penalized if you moved, and I believe you have to pay part of it back. So that's something that you want to consider before you accept this award. But that is one stipulation. You know, they want to attain those students and keep people in our state. You also have to do 2 hours of unpaid community service each academic term. And you have to, of course, meet all the minimum admission requirements for your school, which you would have to do that anyway to go to college. And you have to be registered for at least 6 credit hours. So 6 credit hours, you know, usually one class is about 3 credit hours. Sometimes it might be 4 if you have a lab class. But say you have 2 3 credit hour classes. That's all you would need to take each semester to keep your West Virginia Invest Grant and not lose it. And then another big one is you have to pay for and pass a drug screening before the start of each academic term. Now, when you apply to the West Virginia Invest Grant, you will need to give it your email address. That is what they use, the West Virginia Invest Grant people. That's what they use to communicate with you about how to complete all the requirements and how to take your drug test. So whatever email address that you give it, make sure that's one that you're checking regularly. Also check your spam folder, because sometimes things have a way of going to your spam folder. It just, you just never know. So just as a general rule of caution, it's good to just kind of keep a periodic eye on that every couple of days. So just be mindful of that. Okay, so that takes me to the FAFSA. Like I mentioned a minute ago, you will need to do your FAFSA regardless. I mean, I encourage every student to do this. Even if you think you might be paying out of pocket, you never know. Things change. So it's free. You may as well just do it and get it over with. But it's just fafsa.ed.gov. And then you'll need to put in New River school code number, which is 039603. Every school has a unique code that you have to put in when you are doing your FAFSA, which I'm sure you're probably already learning. I will give you a word of caution about New River's. There's another community college in Dublin, Virginia, and it's called New River Community College. We are called New River Community and Technical College. So they are not affiliated with us at all. Very similar names. A lot of times people get it confused, but they're not part of us. So they have a different school code altogether. So when you're putting in your school code or selecting your school, you need to make sure it says New River Community and Technical College, and you need to make sure that it says Beaver, West Virginia for the location. If it says Dublin, Virginia, that's the other school. So you've selected the wrong one. So just make sure you select the right one there. I also have a couple links here that will be helpful for you when you're navigating financial aid. The first one, studentaid.gov/help-center. That is the main FAFSA kind of web page with frequently asked questions and things like that. The second link here, newriver.edu/financial aid application process. That is, I really encourage you to check that out. That is on our website, and it's basically a numbered list of our entire financial aid process. So a lot of times students think, they do their FAFSA, they put in their school code, and they think they're done, but different schools have different requirements, of course, and a lot of times, your school will need additional information from you, like a financial aid data sheet or taxes information or whatever it might be. So at New River, we use your student email a lot of times to communicate with you. So, and for certain forms, they require, Air Department requires that you send them back using your My New River student email account. So I would encourage you, once you apply, to go ahead and just set up your New River student email. You can, as soon as you apply, set that up, and you can just be checking it regularly. That way you don't miss any important information from financial aid. All right, and that brings me to how do you apply? How do you apply to New River? So It's pretty simple. We do not have an application fee. I know some schools will charge you maybe like $50 or $25 to apply. We don't do that at New River. It's very simple. It's always free. We are what they call an open enrollment institution as well. So that means that we accept every student basically. And it also means that we do not require a set SAT or ACT score to accept you. We will work with you regardless of where you place on your placement tests. Basically, the reason we need the placement tests is because, or the scores, your SAT or ACT scores, the reason we need those is we need to see where you're coming out in terms of your English and math skills. So if, say, you don't have the greatest SAT scores in math or English or both, we might just put you in developmental courses that are sort of like a tutoring component, kind of just some extra help alongside your regular math and English. So it's not the end of the world by any means if you don't score super great. We do need some type of score, or well, more on that in a minute, but we need to see something, but we can work with you regardless. So don't think that because you scored too low, you won't get accepted at New River. You definitely will. To apply, you can do it online, or you can email us for an application. Our email is below here, admissions@newriver.edu. Don't forget the S at the end. Sometimes people leave that off and it doesn't make it to us. But if you go to this link up here at the top, www.newriver.edu/ready, that will take you to our admissions page where you can find our application, and you can also find our new student checklist. So when you go to that link, you'll see two green buttons at the top. One's going to say online application, and the other is going to say PDF application. So
Can you share your screen for us?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
Did it just pop off? See. Can you see it now? I'm sorry.
No, you're 100% fine. I cannot see it yet.
Okay. I'm wondering. That's weird. I'm trying to find the. Okay, if I click this.
It's okay. I also have the student's email just in case you can't find it, so you can email her the presentation as well.
Okay, I found it, I think, but yeah, I'll definitely email it to her as well. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, is that good now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me get over here. I think I was on the very last bit of it. Okay. So I believe what I was saying was the application, you can click on the online application, and that's going to require you to go through the West Virginia, College Foundation of West Virginia website. You'll have to make an account with them if you haven't already, but you all probably already have an account, I would imagine, at this point. Then once you do that, it'll take you to our application so you can apply online. Or if you click on that other green button that says PDF application, it's going to say, it's going to open up our PDF version. So what you can do is you can save that. You'll need to save the blank version first to your desktop or your computer, then fill it out. You can type it in and then save it again, and then email it back to us at admissions@newriver.edu. Or if you don't want to go to that trouble, you can just print one out and fill it out, sign it, mail it into whatever campus you'd like to attend. And our campus mailing addresses are located on the second page of the application. So it's very simple. Then once you have done that, you'll need to go to the address at the top, www.newriver.edu/ready. And in the section where it says next steps, you will see our new student checklist for certificate and degree seeking students. That is very important. That houses everything you need to know. And actually, this is what it looks like. This is a black and white copy, but this is what it looks like. That's every step to admission you'll need to follow. It's really simple. Main thing is get that application into us. Also, we will need an official copy of your high school transcript once you graduate. If you have taken the SAT or ACT or plan to do so, go ahead and email us your scores. I mean, you can pay to have them sent to us, but we actually don't require an official score. So if you go on your College Board account for SAT, you can go, I think it's in the top right-hand corner, and I want to say it's like a black button or something, and it says download my or view my score report. So you can click on that and that'll bring up your whole score report with your name and everything. If you save that, like download that and then just email it to us, that will work totally fine. Or mail it to us, either way. If you don't ever plan to take the SAT or ACT, we can give you our AccuPlacer placement test. We can also look at your high school transcript. We're kind of using a multi-measures approach right now, but it seems like a lot of students are still taking the SAT through school. So, you know, if you have that, definitely do that. But if not, we can work with you. Obviously do your financial aid, your FAFSA. We also require a new student orientation module to be completed for each student. So instead of an in-person orientation, we require you to go on our website and take our module that teaches you how to attend college at New River, and at the end you do have to take a quiz, but it's nothing stressful. And then once you're done with that, you will be ready basically to come and register for your classes. Right now we're doing that over the phone. Our campuses are closed right now for the most part due to the ongoing pandemic, but we are open, our offices are open, and we are here to help you. So if you have any questions at all, you can email us at admissions@newriver.edu. You can email financial aid for financial aid questions, and their email is finaid@newriver.edu. And then our main phone number is at the top as well. In addition to that, you will want to check out the link below as well to more West Virginia ACRAO virtual tour presentations. I'm sure you've gone through and probably registered for more already, but if you'd like to check out more, this is the link right there to get registered and signed up. New River is doing a few more. I'm doing, I think one on like October 22nd. I'm doing one tomorrow at 5 o'clock with several other schools on the West Virginia Invest Grant specifically. So it would be Pierpont Community and Technical, us, Mont West, WVU Parkersburg, and Potomac State University. Or Potomac State College. So we're going to kind of deep dive into the West Virginia Invest Grant. So if you haven't signed up for that one and you're interested, I definitely would recommend you watch that one as well. And then we're also doing another one, I think on the 19th with Southern Community and Technical College, us, and then actually Bridge Valley. So that one focuses on community colleges in the southern part of the state. So that's just us. There are plenty others, so definitely go to that website and check out if you've not signed up for any more. There's some excellent resources out there. That pretty much wraps up my presentation, so I am happy to answer any questions that you all might have. I don't know if we had any come through.
The only one we had come through was about the presentation, and I did email you the student's email address.
Okay.
So you can send that to her. Her name is Karen. Karen's the only one with us today.
Okay. Hi, Karen. All right, sure. I will definitely get that to her for sure. Thank you so much for providing her email.
Absolutely.
Is Karen still on with us?
She is.
Okay, Karen, do you have any other questions? It's not. But yeah, I'll definitely send you the presentation, and I'll send you a little information packet as well. And you're welcome to contact me anytime. My name's Brianna Smith. You can just call our main line and ask for me, and they'll get you to me. So
She said, no, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. And then that wraps me up, I believe. So
That does. Give me 1 second here. And I just have a few housekeeping things, which is kind of redundant for us, but it's okay. Just so you guys know, once you close the window, you will be prompted to do a little tiny survey here. It's a 4-question survey. It provides us feedback, so any feedback you can provide is greatly welcome. Also, this is just one of many sessions, as Brianna said. You're more than welcome to sign up for additional sessions if you haven't already at WVACRAO.org. That's WestVirginiaACRA.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session along with others for anything for your viewing pleasures later. Again, that website is WVACRAO.org. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys have a good night.
You too.